Alrighty, well, good evening. I can't believe I just said alrighty. Good grief. What's going on, everybody? Happy evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you may be. And if you're going to be part of the replay gang, I appreciate that. If you leave a comment, just put hashtag replay gang in the comment section. But shout out to everybody that's here now and will be here later. Normally, I podcast at 9:30 in the morning, but this information was so big. I'm like, I'll just come on later on tonight. I did not think, I didn't expect to have a ton of people listening. Just figured people would catch it on the flip side. So what I'm doing tonight is I finished Spider-Man 2 on Marvel Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation today. It had a huge Easter egg in it at the end of the game, and we'll start with that. I'll give you my score for it since I finished it. I can't remember. I think the last mission is called Heal the World. I can't remember if I got a bronze trophy or a gold trophy, but that game was something else. I mean, the ending, and it tells you you're about to go into the end part of the game. So I like that. I like that part. I like that part of it. But we'll give you my score, and then we'll talk about this. This sensational story that has broke from somebody named Nate the Hate or Hate the Nate, and this guy is literally saying that Microsoft is going to start putting some games on all platforms, which they already have Call of Duty and Minecraft on all platforms. So I don't know why this is such a big deal. This is PlayStation has MLB The Show on all platforms, right? So it does. And I assume Roblox, they finally got Roblox, and there's a very good chance they're going to buy that company apparently. So, but let's just say they buy Roblox, and they would have their own version of I've never played Roblox, but you would have your own version of that. It's called Minecraft. But so to me, I didn't think this was that big a deal. It's just a rumor, but it is. There's now you're seeing these things where there's smoke, there's fire. It's just a rumor. Wanted to leave that up there because that's in case you hadn't read it. This comes from I guess J-Dub City. Shout out to J-Dub. He took a screenshot. Porter Rock did the same thing, but I grabbed J-Dub, so that's why that looks like it does. And it's just so everybody can follow along. It's like 4 paragraphs, and I'm gonna read them all, and then I'll comment on all of them once we get to that point of the show. So that's why that's up there now. But let's start off with the actual gaming. We'll give a shout out to everybody here. And again, you can ask me anything tonight. It's Sunday night, why not? Briaros is in the house. I appreciate your brother being a member. He says Xbox games coming to PS5. Well, yeah, I've told you all that. Hero Down Under is saying that because we have a poll going here. Did I pin that up here? Let me check. All right, so the poll, it just says if and when Xbox goes full third party, will you buy some of the games? Yes or no? And right now, 56% of you, the people that have voted, up to 18 votes now, have said, yeah. So that's the majority right now. That could change. But we'll talk about that. We'll close that poll out, and then we'll talk about that when we get there. But who else is here? Of course, the Nightbot is in the house. Oh, Zero Steel is here. Shout out to Zero Steel. Appreciate you being here. J-Roll49. Again, try to read the members off first and some of the newer subs. And so yeah, Zero Steel says he's playing Spider-Man 2 now. Okay, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna give it my score. Let's see here. Trying to see no more members is here. So Jenna Hayes is in the house. Says, who is Cindy Moon? Oh, well, we'll talk about Cindy Moon here shortly, actually. So you're here for the best part of it. Let's see here. Did I just see? Is there a Nova Red? Oh yeah, bonjour Nova Red. Nova Red says Flight Simulator. Well, really think about that. What would be so good about that is that if they could give that to Sony for VR support, but they gotta get it off that 30 line. But let's just say they can't get it off the 30 line. But what you all would see is you guys that have VR, that would instantly become a classic game on PlayStation. Instantly. Because you have VR. And Microsoft, there's no option for VR right now. I mean, that could change, right? They could strike a deal with Oculus or something like that. But as of right now, the best way to play a flight sim game is to play with, the best way, high-end way to play that and experience that, all that stuff is with VR. Even on PC, VR. Whether it's X-Plane or Star Citizen, anything like that, VR. But you don't have that option. And it is what it is. So, but we'll move it down the road. So let's talk about my Spider-Man score. Here, let me shrink this. Let me see. You all can see the scroll. We'll just kind of shrink that. There you go. We'll just put it about right there. And we'll put my grill. We're gonna put my grill over here. I'll sit here at the bottom of the cup, but it's gonna be a small picture. There we go. That way, if anybody wants to throw some donos, you'll see the ice come down here. That'll be fun for you all to look at. So we'll close that. Okay. But yeah. All right. So that's me waving my hands. All right. So what? First things first. Let's start with the actual game, Spider-Man 2. So this is a game, a first-party game by Insomniac Games, a Sony studio. They bought Insomniac in 2019, and this studio has produced a Game of the Year nominee, and I can see why. As I was playing this game, this is one of the best games I've ever played, and I've been lucky. I've been playing video games since 1977, the Atari 2600. We would go to the arcade, and there was Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Missile Command, stuff like that. These were in like the stores. Like you would go to Target today or Walmart today, and they would have a video game system in there. They would have 3 games in there, and you would always, try to find a quarter to pluck into the machine, right? But the Spider-Man 2 is one of the best games I've ever played, and I'm not gonna spoil it too bad. I'll simply say that when you finish the game, and the credits roll, there's 2 sets of credits. The first set of credits rolls, and there's a middle, what would be called a middle cutscene. You get that, okay? You get that. And then you get and that's with more having to do with Parker and what he's going through. And then you get what I think was the biggest one, and the one I told you all was coming. You get, I have to tell you this one because this is part of it. But this is after you beat the game, and this is the end of the game. This is at the end of the credits. So if you're still playing Spider-Man 2, go ahead, jump off. I'm going to give you 20 seconds here because I am going to give you the last cutscene, which is online, by the way. But I'm going to give you the last cutscene. And it's a cutscene. It's not a playable scene. Then we'll go into the history here. So I'll give you 20 seconds here. I'm going to take a swig of my H2O. Okay, so at the end, the very end, the last credit you see is Miles Morales and his mom are making dinner. They're kind of dressing up. They're expecting guests. Doorbell. There's a knock at the door, and Miles's friend, the girl who is deaf, she comes in, and they have a little quick conversation, things like that. Then there's another. Then Miles goes into his room, and she plants a kiss on him. So both Parker and I won't say what happens with Parker. Miles gets a kiss. The heroes get a kiss from their girls. Okay, and so then the scene goes on, and there's another knock at the door, and obviously Miles's mother is kind of smitten with who's coming, and this guy comes to the door. And, he knocks, and they say, I think his name is Henry. I think. And she says, well, hello, Henry. You can come on in. This is my son, Miles, and his girlfriend. I forgot her name. And then he said, well, okay. And he said, she calls him Mr. Moon. I'm sorry. She calls him Mr. Moon. She says, hello, Mr. Moon. I'm thinking, wait a minute. And I said that. And so he says, okay, well, it's good to meet you, Miles. And he signs to the deaf girl. But then the Easter egg, the bombshell, the creme de la creme happens. He turns around and he says, well, nice to meet you, Miles. This is my daughter, Cindy. And Cindy just waves. Don't show her face. They do not show her face. Now, who is his daughter? Who is Cindy Moon? Cindy Moon is Silk. She's a Spider-Man. And she's Asian American. She will open up. Listen. She's going to open up the whole Chinatown, which I think in New York is the Lower East Side of Manhattan. If you live in New York, you can correct that. I can't really remember. It's been over a decade since I've been to New York. I think it's Lower East Manhattan. So Haley, yeah, yeah. So you have what's going on with Parker and what did Insomniac Games disclose to everybody? Everybody, which is what? For the next Spider-Man game, Miles Morales is going to be the central character. But now they're bringing in Silk. And not Silk the Shocker, that rapper. It was bad. Real bad. Like real bad, right? And it's this for me personally. I told you guys this is going to happen. I'm like, they are going to bring her in because it makes perfect sense. You will have Miles Morales being Peter Parker to her Miles Morales. So what does that mean? Miles is going to go to more of a teaching spot, kind of the way Peter did or was. And then you're going to go to Cindy Moon being the second Spider-Man. That's what's going to happen. But she's got her own set of powers. And her powers are tremendous. And let's read them here because I did a very good job here. Let me see right here. Let me pull this on up for you. And I'll just read them off to you because I like Silk. I like the character. Let's see here. Let me go over here. And so that's my thumbnail. People are like, well, what's that thumbnail? That's Silk. That is Silk. So, but Silk's powers, she's got 7 of them. She's got a spider sense. She calls it the Silk sense. It's better and it's more evolved than Peter Parker's spider sense. Now, maybe it's because she's female. She has more agility than Peter, but less strength. But she's faster. So imagine her as a in between. You have Parker with the power. You have Miles he has power too, but then and he's very powerful, especially with the lightning and all that kind of stuff. But the electric shock he calls it. Then you have Cindy right in the middle. Right in the middle. Her wall crawling is much faster than Parker's and the reason why is because she has claws. She has claws similar to well, not similar to nothing. If you look at a Black Widow spider, the four legs of the arachnid has claws on it. And she spins a web like a real spider, not like Spider-Man and stuff like that. She actually has to move her fingers like a real spider. And you'll see that when they bring the character on. And her nails actually will grow longer to help her catch her prey, like a spider, okay? She also has organic web making, so this would be like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. It just comes out of him. She has the exact same thing. She does the exact same thing. She has an idyllic memory, so she can memorize a room and she remembers every fight that she's in. Like, that's how she learns. She learns very fast. And then she's intelligent as well, 140 IQ. Of course, Miles and Peter are nerdy guys, right? She's a nerdy girl. But we'll have to wait and see how this plays out because they altered the story with Venom. They're going to have to alter her story because she gets kidnapped and held hostage and she gets PTSD. And I don't know if that's going to be part of the game. I think it would be cool if they can add something like that. But we're going to wait and see. We're going to wait and see. But I give the whole video game a 9.2 out of 10. It's one of the best games I ever played. Now, it ain't as good as Mass Effect. It's not. It's just not. But it's up there. Okay, it's up there with their Uncharted and their Horizon Zero Dawns. It's up there. It's there. Matter of fact, you can just put it right there. This game belongs mentioned with some of the great games that have been, that have been done. So definitely we'll have to see how it turns out. But she's ultimately in the comic book. I believe she's bitten by like the clone. They cloned the spider that bit Peter Parker because remember it bit him and it died, but they had his DNA, so they genetically did the same spider, and then it breaks loose again. I don't know why they can't keep him, but she gets bit as well. And but those are her powers. So imagine that in a video game and seeing that stuff in a video game. So remember in Spider-Man when they're about to get hit, their spider sense goes off. Hers will go off in theory much sooner. So you'll be able to, and again, because she can't stand in there and take that type of punishment. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So, but people want to know who Cindy Moon is. That's Silk, and she is coming. Now, remember, I told you guys that if they're smart, they will add Silk and leave Spider Woman, who's different. Spider Woman is different. Leave Spider Woman alone. Silk is her own character. And now, man, oh man. I mean, can you imagine the cosplays and things like that? But that's my thumbnail. People want to know what she looks like. That's what she looks like. I mean, there's some other more seductive pictures of her, but she is, I mean, she will probably get bit. Hit that like button if you don't mind. She will probably get bit at probably, because she looked, I mean, she was probably 14, 15 years old as far as her height when they showed her. But remember, they did not show her. They simply showed the back of her head, and you could see a little bit of her shirt. So, and she just waves. And it's like, this is my daughter, Cindy. It's like, wait a minute, Cindy Moon. She's a moon, Cindy Moon. Oh my goodness, they're bringing in Silk. So remember what they said they were doing. They being Insomniac. They're retiring Parker. Doesn't mean he won't be in the game doing something, but he's going to have more. I still think he's going to create Parker Industries like he did in the comic book or something like that. And that's where Miles will get all his gear. He's going to kind of be like his, kind of like his form, like Happy was for Tony Stark, and well, maybe not Happy, but yeah, Stark made his own stuff, but with Jarvis's help. But I think Parker in the comic book, I think, creates his own like pseudo AI stuff like that. So have to wait and see what they adapt, what they don't adapt, and that's fine. I'm excited for it, and hopefully in 2 more years we get it. I mean, it won't be 2 years, but if you don't know, as soon as this Spider-Man came out, they took like 2 to 3 weeks off, and then they started working on the next Spider-Man game, and DLC. So Jenna, hopefully that answers your question on who Cindy Moon is, and she's coming, and I'm loving it. I'm gonna love it. So, but Spider-Woman, that's a different person. Spider-Woman is, let's see, Spider-Woman. Her name is Jessica Drew. So that's a different person. That's not who we're talking about. We're talking about Silk, and Silk is a different Spider person. So Silk Spider-Woman it's just a take on that. And but I've showed her before. So let me see if I can do a blow up picture of her. And so here we go. Let's try this. I'm gonna try this. So let me go over here. Let's add a source. Okay, so we'll put this on the screen. All right, so that's a better looking picture of her. Her suit is black and white. Black, white, and red. So, but what you can't, to me, at this picture here, they Americanized her a little bit more, but she's actually Asian. She's Asian American. So, we'll, and this is the alternate universe, like 2099 or something like that. Spider-Man 2009. I think this is her in that universe, what she, let's take that down. Let's remove. Try to find another one that's a little more accurate for you guys. See here, images. Here's one. Here's another one. I don't know if this will let me put it up on the screen. No, it won't. Hold on. Yeah, I can use this eBay picture because you can clearly see. Yeah, you can clearly see in this one. So let me go here. Let's dub this up here. Got a screen capture. Add the source. Okay, so hopefully, well, here, let me blow that up. That's kind of ridiculous looking. Okay, so let me, dun. Okay, you should be able to clearly see that she's Asian. Okay. So, and she is. So, but and you could kind of see the way her hands are. They're almost, see the claws. That's what I'm talking about. You can kind of see the claws right here. because that's the way it is. But that's her. That's Cindy Moon, and so she's coming. She's coming, and I'm excited for it. Another picture of her. See if we can blow this one up. This is a Reddit picture. Will it blow up? There you go. So, well, how come it's there we go. So again, cool outfit. Cool outfit. The reason why her fingers are sticking out because they turn to claws. So, and that's why. So, but again, she's pretty well known to the Spider-Man junkies. But I totally understand if people don't know who she is. Totally understand. Totally understand. So somebody says she's sexy. Yeah, to me she is, but she's awful. She's young. I mean, at least in the comic book, she's 15 to 18 years old. I can't remember, but it's a good comic book run if you all want to read the comic. We're here in this dojo. We do the reading. We always say that to you guys. Got to do the reading. So, but again, I want to make sure I clarified 9.2 for Spider-Man. I just told you the end cut after you finish. That is the end cut. So this is after the credits roll. It takes that game's credit roll is anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes long. It was huge. Like everything they took pictures of, the stuff they had in the game, that was placement of different stuff. So it's that good. I mean, the game is good. So the Silk, has a suit made of webs. Okay, well, that may be part of what she ends up doing. We'll have to wait and see. But my whole thing is that she's coming, and because like they said, Peter Parker started a business, and Miles was like, "I got this. Go be Peter Parker for a while." So, so I thought that was a really cool thing. So I'm like, yeah. And then you can see where Insomniac came out and said the next, that Miles Morales going forward is their definitive Spider-Man. They said something like that. And I, for one, am excited for that as well. I think Miles Morales as Spider-Man was fine in this one. He held his own. What do you all say? He held his own nuts. He did that. And I think that's fantastic. But this is good. I'm really looking forward to it. So you could have Silk in with Fantastic Four. You could have her. I mean, who knows? You could have her in the Wolverine game. I mean, you just don't know what they can do with all these characters. So, and remember, when they have the rights to Spider-Man, they have the rights to the 900 characters that are in his universe. So it's like the G serum. I mean, I'm not gonna give that away. I think you all know what the G serum is, right? So, but yeah, that's coming too. But I do think Insomniac likes the fact that there are two Spider-Man. So I'm looking forward to them adding Silk and the different fighting styles and how they're going to complement each other, because she would complement Miles a lot more than she would Parker, because both her and Miles are quick and are both extremely agile. So I think that would be cool. So, but yeah, we'll see. So, so what are you all saying here? Silk and Spider-Man games is going to be awesome. Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be really good. Cindy Moon, J-1 says Cindy Moon as Silk is way more better than Gwen Stacy as Spider-Gwen. Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I wouldn't mind Gwen Stacy either, but I think Silk is just a better person to develop. And again, they're going to be adding her to the Spider-Man universe anyway. They're doing Madam Web, so you're going to have Spider-Woman in that, but which is Madam Web is just going to be the Spider-Man, what was it, No Way Home or something like that, or Can't Go Home, or I don't know, whatever, the last one that they just did. It is going to be similar to that with 3 Spider-Women. So you may have a Spider-Gwen, and I mean, we may see it. I don't know. We may see it. So it's coming. It is coming. So I said coming. So, but yeah, I think she's a better character than Gwen Stacy, but it's not like Gwen Stacy's a terrible character. So Jenna Hayes says she remembers the ending now that it meant. Yeah, well, that was Mr. Moon, and he said, "Oh, let me introduce my daughter, Cindy." And again, I want to make this clear. This is after you finish the game. Not gonna tell you what happens in the game. After you finish the game, it has a mid-cut scene, and then so you have a mid-cut scene, just like the movies, the Marvel movies. You'd have a middle cut scene, and then you have a end cut scene, and they did that in this game. But they have canonized for their universe Cindy Moon, which I think is fantastic. If one of them has Cindy Moon and the other one has Spider-Gwen, I mean, I think that works fine. You know, because it's not like Spider-Gwen is a bad Spider-Man. You know, so it's not. So, but yeah, we're gonna move on now because it's Sunday Fun Day. I'm just kind of looking at the questions about Silk and the comments here. Think Sony is really aiming for Sony Games universe with Spider-Man. Yeah, possibly, because Spider-Man could show up in the Wolverine game. Could. I mean, it's possible. Okay, it's not impossible, but somebody else could. Did you all see? If you're playing Spider-Man 2, did you see the Fantastic Four Easter egg? It's on the top of one of the gazillion buildings, and I just got lucky and found it. I took a picture of it. So yeah, just so you know. So it's obviously you're on the building. There's a 4 there, and then he mentions it again about 4 things before. So it's mentioned. It's fine. I think in the Sony, the Venomverse, or no, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, somebody's gonna buy Avengers Tower, and I personally think it's gonna be Norman Osborn. But I think that makes the most sense because you already have Avengers headquarters in upstate New York or wherever there are. And in the first Spider-Man movie, Homecoming, you got to remember they're moving out of there. So you know, say Yuri is Japanese. Yeah, I think she is too. And yeah, like I said, there were a lot of people in this Spider-Man game. So yeah, you had Wraith, you had, and people forget the Venom character is so well done that I totally forgot about fighting Kraven the Hunter, which you're fighting him the first 2/3 of the game. So, and his cronies still show up as you play, but fighting those symbiotes was hard as hell. That got harder. I mean, that got real hard at some point. I'm like, all right, man, this is getting ridiculously hard. So, but you unlock the if you beat it, you unlock something. I don't know if it's called Superior or Ultra or it was something like that. I'm like, well, let me play that. Let me play on that for 10 minutes to see. And I was like, all right, I'm done with this game. I'm moving on to Resident Evil 4 now, so I can erase Spider-Man, and now I have room to put one of these other games. Probably Final Fantasy 16 is next in the chamber, so to speak. Byron Color says Concord reminded him of a Destiny and Borderlands. I didn't know they showed gameplay. So do I think we'll get a PlayStation Showcase? Yes. Yeah. I mean, Sony's gonna have a new president, and they're gonna want to go out there and flex. SIE, I mean, is gonna have a new president. They're gonna want to go out there and show their bona fides. I have to remember CES is tomorrow for Sony, I believe. So if you wanna, I'm off tomorrow. I'm gonna be looking. I'll cover that because I don't think Sony's going out there until 8:00 Eastern time anyway. So yeah, but I'll try to cover that because the national championship game is on tomorrow. So, and I do want to watch a little bit of that. But yeah, we're getting a PlayStation Showcase. So I'm not gonna sit there and say when and how. So, but yeah, what we get in it? Cindy Moon is Korean American. Okay, that could be wrong about her nationality. That's fine. So, yeah, I mean that sounds a little better. I think she is Korean American. All right, so let's move to the main story. 480 hertz on an OLED monitor. Yeah, apparently that's going to be unveiled tomorrow at CES by either LG or somebody. So we'll go to the main juicy story, which is a rumor. It is a rumor, okay? So, but this comes from I think J-Dub City, I think up there. Yeah, J-Dub, I guess, screenshot it somebody named Clobrill or Cobrilla. So, and well, I just want to read what he wrote into the record because to me it was funny. But this is exactly what me and King Thrash were trying to tell you guys is that the reason why this could happen now, everybody's commenting on, and we don't know if it's true or not. But Jez Gordon, he's upset about it. He has me blocked. I didn't even know he had me blocked, but I'm blocked by Jez Gordon. So, this gentleman says here, we're just going to read this to the record. He says, we'll look at the paragraphs. We'll break them down. So it says, no one is saying you have to share or care for the concerns Xbox fans have. That's totally fine. But there are logical reasons why everyone is happy. It says, well, there are logical reasons not everyone is happy with this direction. And again, you should not start a sentence with a conjunction, but okay. And that has nothing to do with the plastic box or console wars or whatever. He says, I'm tired of reading this. If you think this is about the console, you don't understand anything. So what they're trying to talk about, you'll see in the second verse is the second paragraph is the actual ecosystem being cannibalized. And then we'll talk about that because this is actually a pretty lengthy one. This person then turns around and says, a brand, an investment, an ecosystem is defined by its games, by its library. Fair enough. That's like Warner Brothers has a library. Marvel has a library. Disney has its own library, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And this guy starts the sentence with conjunctions. I don't get it. And the moment you bring experiences to competitors, you'll give up a bit of that identity, potentially piece by piece. You'll actively take away value, reasons to get into the ecosystem in the first place. Well, let's look at it. Microsoft has said publicly they do not consider Sony a competitor. They've said it publicly. Phil Spencer said that. So that sentence, that right there is already wrong. Says you give up a bit of that identity, potentially. Yeah, I read that. Says here, from here it snowballs. So remember, first they're saying Sony needs to put games day and date on PC. And so the Sony community is like, well, if they do that, they get rid of their identity. And they were arguing about it. Okay, this proves what the PlayStation people were saying was correct. What makes Nintendo is that you have to buy their hardware to enjoy their software. Now, this doesn't mean that Nintendo won't put some games elsewhere, but because they might. Since you take away reasons to get into the ecosystem, your ecosystem potentially shrinks. Your ecosystem potentially receives less third-party support, and suddenly, you as an Xbox gamer are directly affected by these decisions. So again, what they're saying is if these games go multiplat, people won't buy an Xbox. But people aren't buying Xbox now. I mean, I'm not, people can say, well, you're just saying that to be funny. You're trying to do shock value. No, that's what the numbers say. The Xbox community isn't buying Xbox. They're not. I have an Xbox. I'm playing Starfield on it right now. But Situated Spoon 26, you can look it up. I know J-Tech has an Xbox. Everybody's blocking J-Tech because he says he's exposing people not playing their games. Yeah, we know they don't play their games. I mean, they don't play their games. They don't. You know, they don't buy them either. So it kind of works itself out. It says you'll ignite discussions when first party game XY is coming to the competition. You'll inevitably hurt the value of your own brand. Such moves directly contradict some of the statements, that should be statements with an S, you as a company made in the past. Some of that is already happening today. Well, again, I told you they were going third party. Now, let me fix that. Let me put that on the fence. This is all a rumor. All right, this is all a rumor. You know, my take on it was they were going to bring Game Pass to PlayStation, but they may just do individual games. I mean, if you can't take Muhammad to the mountain, you gotta bring the, you know, what's the saying? If you can't take the mountain to Muhammad, you have to bring Muhammad to the mountain. That's what they're doing. Sean Layden said the same thing. I don't want to hear no lip. Sean Layton said if we have to go where they are. That's what he's talking about. We got to go where they are. So, and that's what they're talking about. You guys in the Xbox community did not buy these games. They didn't. So this person already says, but, and again, starting a sentence with a conjunction, but it's also more players get to play Hi-Fi Rush. So this guy is already saying that Hi-Fi Rush is going to come out on PlayStation and Nintendo, or maybe just Nintendo, something like that. It says, you seem to fail. It says, all right, that's the end of that sentence. It says, again, you seem to fail to understand what the concerns even are about. That should be what the concerns are even about. That's what that should say. All right. It says, of course, again, starting the sentence with a conjunction. No, I'm sorry. That's a preposition. I'm sorry. Of course, more players playing more games is awesome. Isn't that what Xbox said they were going to do? When we all play, we all win. Isn't that what Phil Spencer has said? I mean, this has already kind of been asked and answered. So I'm not surprised people are talking about this. It says, anyone would agree with this. What even is this kind of argument? It also would be awesome if more players get to play Helldivers. I thought Helldivers was releasing on PC. Somebody can look that up. Splatoon. Nintendo's not going to release Splatoon nowhere else. God of War is on PC. So, I mean, it is. God of War is on PC. At least I thought it was. Maybe I'm wrong. Or Mario. So there are more people playing God of War than at any given point in time. Or Mario. Again, Mario's not gonna go nowhere. I don't understand it. That's an obvious non-statement applicable to literally every game ever, big or small. If it's a non-statement, then why are you talking about it? But again, another sentence with a conjunction. But there are good reasons none of these games are on Xbox. The point is, this is a one-way street. Now, here comes the fanboy stuff. You know, he's complaining about it being a one-way street. Well, if you're going third party, it's going to be a one-way street. And that's what being a third party is, getting the stuff you have out there on as many platforms as you can. Now, they may look at it and say, well, Sony bought Final Fantasy 16, Sony bought Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, okay. And Microsoft bought Quantum Break. Microsoft bought Sunset Overdrive. I mean, do we have to do this whole back and forth thing again? It's not that he acts like again, these guys act like Microsoft doesn't do this stuff. That's what's so damn frustrating about talking to them. This is why I don't talk to them. Okay, this is why, because they just want to pretend that all this stuff didn't happen. Like it didn't happen. None of this happened. You know. So yeah, Knights of the Old Republic only on Xbox. Just it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. It says here, you won't see. All right, we read that. Okay. The point is one-way street. All right. You won't see Nintendo or Sony experiences on an Xbox device or service, period. That's not true. Sony makes MLB The Show. That game is on Xbox. When it comes on, it says PlayStation Studios. And that whole little song comes on where it shows the stuff. All that is there. It says you cannibalize something that is unique to Xbox for more sales. Yeah, that's exactly what this is about. You guys didn't buy anything. You didn't buy the games. You talk about them because you want to brag about, well, we have something you don't have. That's what this is for these guys at this point in time. It is, they want to come out and talk big shit about what they have that Sony doesn't have, but then they don't go support it. They just talk. You know, like I was in a band called itself Wolf Cookie. These guys can be the lead. These men and women could be the lead singers of Wolf Cookie. We'll get rid of Raul. Forget about Raul. Sit him down. Tell him to go back to making some pasta. But Raul could sing his ass off. But my point is that these guys are just wolf cookies. That's all they are. Says you get more money short term. That's what it's about. Microsoft they brag about the money Microsoft has, but then it's like, well, Microsoft got that money by selling products. You know. You'll lose other values which you cannot easily be attached to numbers. So he's talking about brand loyalty. Y'all not buying this stuff. I mean, I can see if Xbox had 48 to 55 million Game Pass users, but they don't. They don't. Now he goes into the rant. You know, there are too many cooks in the kitchen at Xbox. I disagree. And Xbox wants to cook everywhere these days. Again, that's what they said. What if you wanted to enjoy your favorite game on any platform at any given time that you wanted? That's what they said. They said that years ago. I'm like, oh, well, they're going third party. Well, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. You're a pony. You're a pony. You're just saying that. You're a hater. All right, well, here we are. Here we are on the cusp of this possibly happening. And I'm gonna keep saying it's a rumor. So it says here, I feel like the organization itself doesn't really know what it wants to be. So of course they fail to communicate that properly to its audience. Well, it's a rumor. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm a hardcore Xbox user, like the blues, right, on the streets. And there are days where I don't understand their strategy. Again, based on what they're saying and what their CFO said, they're going third party. They're going to put some, not maybe every game, but they're going to put a lot of games on other platforms. If I don't understand, and he goes on to say he doesn't understand their strategy, their decisions anymore. If I don't understand, how can they expect to billions of gamers to understand them? Because unlike this guy, maybe these people can actually comprehend. Okay, Xbox already is both first and third party publisher today. Okay, then why are you complaining about it? They're already doing it. Why are you complaining about it? And I think people will need to get used to the latter becoming even more prominent at Xbox. Okay, so more third party games. If you try to serve everyone, you end up serving no one. That I agree with. You try to be everything to everybody, you eventually will become nothing to someone. I agree with that. At the end of the day, this is just a rumor. Xbox hasn't done anything yet. But all this talk is just theoretical. Just to keep that in mind, I know of some very amazing things happening to Xbox users this year. Okay, fine. Including one larger surprise. The biggest challenge Xbox faces is themselves. Done anything yet? So all this talk is just theoretical. So again, what he is saying about it being a rumor is 1,000% accurate. All this right here, this stuff at the bottom here, I agree with that 100%. However, they have told us, and J-Dub posted this up here. So he goes in, he woke up and chose violence, as I like to say. So, but what say you? I mean, so the poll that's up, it asks a specific question, which is, if Xbox started putting games on PlayStation platform, would you all buy it? Now, I'm going to close this poll here in I'll close it right now. So the results of the poll are 55% of you would and 44% of you would. Now that's of you all that are here. So, yeah, Saul Capono is in the house. So yeah, and says please support PlayStation on PC. Well, I mean the PlayStation gamers aren't going to do that because they're already playing the games on PlayStation. So the PC community, they got to do it. So. Even at $350, it still isn't sold. I thought it sold a little bit better at $350 because that's the market for it. The market is $350, is what it is. So, this here, any Xbox gamer left should really be building a PC. I agree with Horizon, Sony starting 2020, Forbidden West and Helldivers 2. Forbidden, is that? Oh, okay. Is that Helldivers? What's HFW? What am I missing? Forbidden West is already out. Are you, not unless they're coming out with more DLC, which I think they are. We'll have to wait and see. Byron Color says I want London Studios to remaster The Getaway. All right, well, we'll see. So, wish he had the free time to do background checks like J-Tech. Yeah, I mean, apparently they're blocking him and the Xbox community is blocking him because he is exposing that they're not playing their games. So, Yeah, Helldivers 2 is releasing on PC. I thought that's what it was. So yes, it's going to another platform. And if Sony did indeed buy that studio, there's a day and date release by a Sony first party studio. If they bought it. If they bought it. So Komodo said all these companies care about is your money. Yeah, so it makes sense. It makes sense to me, but I totally understand. It's a rumor. I'm not gonna be like this is gonna happen tomorrow, stuff like that. So I've been saying this for a while. So shout out to the almighty Spartan God in the house. Says just but Gears and Halo on PlayStation, only the first 3 Gears and Halo games before 5. Okay. Okay. Monty White says he's just getting home from work. It depends on if the games are good from Xbox publishers. Same way I treat any game. All right, well, yeah. I mean, I think if it does happen, Hi-Fi Rush is apparently a really good game. Microsoft Flight Sim. These games are high-rated games. Gears of War 1, 2, and 3. Those are high-rated games. But this is all rumor. But this checks most of the boxes that my King Thrash and myself were talking about. Time to get a 4080 super rumored to only be $999. Well, they may drop the price tomorrow at CES. They may come out there. NVIDIA could come out there tomorrow and be like, yeah, we're dropping the prices. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, so people have a lot of free time. Yeah, they kind of said they going third party. It was kind of revealed during the. Yeah, I agree. So I think they're going third party. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Gears on there. You know, Gears 1, 2, and 3, and then Gears. Maybe a Halo game, an old Halo game like Halo Reach that Bungie did. Release that. That's Bungie's game, so release that. But Halo Reach don't even have Master Chief in it. It does not have Master Chief. It's got Spartans in it, but it doesn't have Master Chief, and that is considered one of the best Halo games ever made. But they can release ODST. I don't think that has Master Chief in it, and they can release Halo Reach because again, they still keep Master Chief on Xbox. But that's my opinion, right? That's my opinion. So, you think they're going to announce Horizon Forbidden West on PC in February? Oh, okay. They may announce it tomorrow. I mean, they are going to be there with some PlayStation announcements. So, and it will be, is it 2 years? The Forbidden West release in 2022? So, hold on. Alexa, when did Horizon Forbidden West release on PlayStation 5?
The game Horizon Forbidden West was released on February 18, 2022.
Okay, yeah, so it'll be 2 years next month. So yeah, it wouldn't shock me if they announce it tomorrow. It wouldn't shock me because it'd be 2 years in February. So the PC got to stop pirating. They're not going to stop doing that. So they're not going to stop doing that. Yeah, just a little bit more. Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to see if there's any more questions here about this. Sunset Overdrive to PlayStation sounds logical. Why is that? Because Insomniac? Well, I mean, I can see Sunset Overdrive. I saw it. Somebody mentioned this already. Quantum Break, because those are third-party games. So Sunset Overdrive, Quantum Break. I'm trying to think what else they could put over there that's third party. So I said Gears. I mean, think about that. Sony owns, technically Sony already owns, they own, they are already Bungie's parent company. So it's kind of like, all right, I can see Halo Reach coming. What if at the PlayStation Showcase, the PlayStation Studios logo pops up and we see the Getaway? Oh, I've never played the Getaway, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. They would have to relinquish publishing rights so that they would have to give the publishing rights to a third party to make the game so that game could be made on PlayStation. Okay, it is. That's what would have to happen. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, but I think it could happen, but I'm thinking the third party stuff would go. I think the third party stuff would go. So you love the Getaway back in the day. Yeah, I heard the Getaway. I think brought in. Didn't they do another version called the Wheelman? Had Vin Diesel. Isn't that like the Getaway successor or spiritual successor? Hellblade 2 console exclusive for 12 months. Then, well, have to wait and see on that. I would simply say games made by third parties like Microsoft Flight Sim and all that kind of stuff. I could see some of that coming, but it's just a rumor, guys. And for all we know, Microsoft's going to come out and address this tomorrow. They could address this tomorrow. God, I hope they do, because these people are going nuts. I mean, J-Tech made a good podcast today. He had receipts. These guys were arguing with each other on their own podcast. So, even Jez Gordon was like, well, it could be this, it could be that. But I didn't know Jez Gordon had me blocked, because I was going to email him, hey, what do you think about this? Could this possibly be true? Hit that like button, people. Basically stuff by Xbox Global Publishing. Basically stuff by Xbox Global. Well, yeah, I mean, games that are, like Asobo, they make Flight Sim. Could they put Flight Sim on PlayStation and it have VR support? Yeah, they could. They could. I mean, that's the truth. All right, that's not me fanboying. Halo Reach, that's a Bungie game. All right. I'm just trying to think of games that they don't, it is what it is. Call of Duty is already on PlayStation. It's already on there. You got it on your PC and Xbox. Yeah, I watched J-Tech's podcast. Capono's, he's got to work. I'm off tomorrow, but I lost my friggin' green snow cap. I got to go to Wally World and get another one tomorrow morning. I'll be up and at 'em and get my hair cut. Then got to go see my dietitian. So, shout out to Anonymous Boss. So, plus it was Getaway Gang of London. Oh, okay. Cool. But yeah, I'm just thinking like, all right, let's do a game like Blade. Blade is owned by Marvel Studios. Xbox is making the game. So I could see Marvel Studios coming to them and saying, yes, you can make the game. You can keep it exclusive for 2 years, maybe. But at the end of that 2 years, the rights are gonna revert back to us and we'll publish it third party to whoever we want. True Crime needs to get remade. It did. It's called what's the name of that game? It's right on the tip of my tongue. It's not the Yakuza game. I forgot the name of that game. You all keep mentioning that game, and I'm like, yeah, it's this game. It's the game where the Asian guy's an undercover cop. That is True Crime. But they just didn't call it True Crime. Did I see Thrash's before mine? No, I did not see Thrash's video. So, imagine someone hacked Konami and leaked Metal Gear Solid. Snake Metal Gear 1 gameplay? Wouldn't that be? Yeah, it would be crazy. I certainly hope that doesn't happen. You think you'll see Concord? Yeah, Sleeping Dogs. It's called Sleeping Dogs. Yeah, Sleeping Dogs is that game. That is True Crime. They just changed the name of the game. Watch Dogs. No, I tried Watch Dogs 3, but I didn't care for it. But it seemed cool. It was on Plus. And I'm like, well, I'll try it. All right. I played it for like an hour. I'm like, this is not my type of game. But it's not bad. It's not like it was a bad game. Like if I probably sat down and did it, I would get it done. So yeah, Sleeping Dogs. That's the name of the game. Yeah, get the likes up, people. Y'all are lazy. Y'all are lazy. Watch Dogs 2. Nah, it was called Sleeping Dogs. So it was good though. That game was good too. So, but yeah, I do like I did like Streets of New York. It was Streets of New York, Streets of LA, or something like that. Yeah. Ubisoft fooled you to Watch Dogs. Well, Ubisoft, that Star Wars game, Star Wars Outlaws, they even put a filter on there that makes it look like the old Star Wars movies from the 70s. Like that filter will be on that game. So I'm excited about that game. So you got sleeping dogs, but you want true crime. Well, that's pretty much what it is. You gotta take it. So,
Oh, yeah.
appreciate you, J-Ro, being a member for 14 months. And remember, next Friday, while I'm uploading The Last of Us Part 2, while I'm uploading that, we will be doing a giveaway for the members. Now, Alfonso Carter, who won the last time, is not eligible this time. So you all got a chance to win it. So member up. Right now, they're looking at a 10% chance of winning it. It is a movie code, a digital movie code for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I think. I mean, I'll double check it. But I'm sorry. It's actually going to be a $10 gift card. That's what it's going to be. Streets of Rage. No, I think that's different. The Streets of New York. But Streets of Rage, that was that side-scrolling game that everybody would play in the arcade. You would quarter up to somebody you didn't even know, and you would take control of one of those people. I think that's Streets of Rage. So Far Cry. Apparently, the Avatar game is very similar to Far Cry. Apparently. So you hope the Naughty Dog does a Savage Starlight. Okay, we'll see what they're doing. Because we already know they're working on 2 new projects. So, or maybe at least 1 new project. So we'll see. And again, when they're ready to show stuff, they'll show it. But yeah, the Concord game, obviously it sounds like a ship that's in some kind of space warp. So I don't know what it's going to be. Dead to Rights. Well, those are some classics, yeah. Those are arcade games. So they don't have enough. They're coming out with a new one called Busting Those Cheeks. So we're going to see how many quarters that Chocolate Thunder gets. So we'll have to wait and see. But you think you'll see a little bit of Concord? Well, I mean, when? I mean, that's the whole point. Is like, when? What are y'all talking about? Because if you're talking about CES, the same people that told you that we were going to get game footage and stuff had to walk back their comments just a couple days ago. Well, it doesn't look like they're going to be showing anything. Yeah, we told you that, you stupid MF. Yeah. Oh, shout out to Capono for the 5. He got 5 on it. For the 480 hertz OLED monitor, we are not outside its code. Yeah, I got it. We out there. Yeah, I understand. Twisted Metal. I think that game is coming because you have a TV show tied in. However, I don't know where you all are saying they're going to be showing it there. I don't understand that. Maybe we get a price drop on PSVR 2. I've been hearing that. Maybe PSVR 2 drops down to like $399 or something like that, or $350. So we'll see. You like Dead to Rights? Yeah, there we go. There you go. But yeah, make sure if you're a member, you will be in that drawing for that $10 PlayStation card. But if you want it on Game Pass, we can switch it over for you. It's no problem. So that's if you want it on Game Pass.
For the 480 hertz OLED monitor, we are not outside, it's cold.
He wants me to say that we're in here. Corey Bates not going to. Yeah, like I said, I don't think we're going to get any major announcements on VR or from Sony tomorrow. They're not going to show any TV, so they may show some. They may update the monitors, maybe some headsets and cameras, stuff like that. The earbuds, I think they're going to show. They may show. I mean, that's what I think they're going to do. But I'm not. It's CES. I'm looking more forward to the NVIDIA and LG. Sony is just kind of like, like last year. It was just kind of, But we'll just have to wait and see. It's funny to me, however. So, all right. So I think we've answered all your questions here. Any more questions? I mean, you got to line them up because maybe a podcast on Tuesday, maybe. They may promote VR. They're not going to drop. Yeah, I mean, I think you may see something with VR. Maybe they announce how many they've sold, something like that. We'll have to wait and see. We're going to find out soon. I think Sony is tomorrow. Let me see if I can look that up. Let me make this smaller again. Good God. Let me put it right there. All right. So I certainly hope you all's favorite football team won. So CES, Sony, 2024. Let's see what I forgot what time they said. Yeah, they won't have no TVs there. They've already announced that 3 days ago. How to watch it. All right, here's the keynotes. Sony is Sony is tomorrow. It'll be 8 p.m. Eastern time. 8 p.m. Eastern time is for Sony. All right. You already hit the like button. Appreciate you. They're gonna unveil their full image of mini LED. They said they're not gonna have any LED TVs there. According, they've released a presser saying 3 days ago saying that no TV. So we'll have to wait and see what they show. I think cameras, maybe a cell phone. They're more there for the car. They co-develop with Honda. They're there for that as well. So but I'm excited about it. But yeah, make sure y'all hit that like button. If you're going to sit on the replay, make sure you put hashtag replay gang. We're going to give you all your own stuff if you're a hashtag replay gang person. So, when the t-shirts, when I finally get around to getting my t-shirts done, we're going to have something to say hashtag replay gang, Porch Light Podcast. So put you all up on, what's it called? Up on game. So 80 Eastern is a good time. You can actually watch it. I'll be watching the football game. So, so it is what it is for me. Lazy lima beans. Ugh. All right. We need another Siphon filter. I think Bend is working on a spiritual successor to Siphon filter. They said it was an open world game in the mode of they said combine the Hitman game. If you take the Hitman game and the Siphon filter game and you combine it, that's going to be their new game. So, yes, sports. Corey Massey's on vacation, so no football. Yeah, I mean, tomorrow's the national title game. I do want to watch some of it, or at least listen to it. So I'll probably be listening to it because I prefer to close my eyes and imagine that I'm there. There we go. Oh, llama beans and black eyed peas you can't stand. Okay. But yeah, so any more questions about my Spider-Man score? 9.2. I put it in the description. I put all of Cindy Moon, aka Silk. She's coming to the next Spider-Man game. If not a DLC, maybe. I think that'll be cool. They introduce her in a DLC as well. Let's see here. And the Xbox, any questions about the Xbox possibly to put games on? I need to put a question mark up there. Hold on, because somebody's gonna be like, "Well, you said," because that's just the way stupid people are. So let me do that now. Whoops, put one too many. So I'm gonna have to erase Sunday. And this. There we go. Yeah, so I put some question marks up there because people will be like, well, no, you said it. Yeah, I gotta put question marks. Rumor that Bend is doing that agent game that Rockstar Games is pass over. All right, well, again, they did say it was similar to Hitman and it had and Siphon Filter. So what we'll find out here this year. We're gonna find out. Another Sly Cooper and what? I don't know what that is. Is Sly Cooper that big a deal? Did I take the Samsung back to the store? No, I did not. It's still here. I'm waiting for CES to see. And again, I was going to buy another monitor, right? I was going to buy it, but they had nothing in stock. Like they were like, we got wiped out by Christmas, and then the day after Christmas, everybody came in here. I'm like, all right, well. So everything was like, I can order it to be there on the 16th. I can order it to be there on the 18th. Like, never mind. Don't worry about it. So, but I was there Saturday. That's what I was going to do. Stupid people are breeding too much. Yeah, but what else are they going to do? They already know that that people that are poor have more children than people who have access to resources because, the people who have access to resources, they'll go raw, but she'll go get morning after pills. She'll be like, okay, I got to go to the store and then bam, she's getting morning after pills. But people that are poor can't afford morning after pills. New models of monitors, yeah. I've seen some. I saw the OLED 8K one at Best Buy. It looked very expensive. Capone also got 3 kids. He's done. There you go. So, hope Microsoft doesn't put their games on PlayStation. People aren't going to buy them. I think that's not true, but we'll find out. They were interested before. I doubt they'd be interested when it's on PlayStation. But you don't think people who have the VR system won't play Microsoft Flight Sim if it comes over? They wouldn't play Halo Reach if it came over. Sunset Overdrive, if that's what it's called, Sunset Overdrive. If that came over, I think, Quantum Break. Those are games that they would possibly play. Even you go back to the EA game that they had what was it called? Titanfall. We did the Killzone and Mag. I agree with Mag. Maybe that game will come back. I don't know about Killzone. So the conversation went left. No, it did not. It's an Ask Me Anything. So yeah, I need to put that in there too, because people are dumb, man. So I'm gonna put a Ask Me Anything. So there we go. So we'll add that. And a Resistance. Okay. But there were 3 Resistance games, right? So why did man keep falling? It's called Fall of Man. Well, how come man had to fall 3 times? So I agree with Mag, like I said, I don't know about Killzone. But I understand Resistance. I understand the Resistance game, because that's Insomniac, right? Sony acquisitions. Allegedly they have already gotten the allegedly, I'm watching this football game, I'm sorry. Allegedly they bought the studio, the Arrowhead, that made Helldivers 2. Allegedly. So we'll see. Maybe the studio that made Kana Bridge of Spirits. Maybe they get that one as well. So but that's it. I still think they're going to buy a publisher. I still think that publisher is Warner Brothers Games. That's just me, though. You rather have Jack and Dexter remake over Sly Cooper? Well, what is the difference? I mean, aren't they both kind of scaled down versions of Ratchet and Clank? PlayStation gamers will not migrate to Xbox. Yeah, as I said, if you can't bring the mountain to Muhammad, you got to take Muhammad to the mountain. So that's just what I think really could be going on if this is true. But look, Microsoft can come out tomorrow. They can come out tomorrow morning with a giant press release saying all this was rumor. We're not doing this, all that kind of stuff. So it is what it is. Now, Phil Spencer has already said they don't plan on putting any games anywhere. Plan on it, but plans change. I think he said, as of right now, we don't plan it. Yeah, as of right now. But when your CFO does a market study and then they present that market study to the shareholders and the bosses, and it says we could make this much money if we put games on Nintendo, because they can just sell them for $70. I mean, well, maybe not Titanfall, but they can resell them because they're not making any more money. They're not making no more money on Xbox. That's kind of what that guy Nate the Hate was saying. Ember Labs, Deviation Games, and more. Yeah, that's who it is. Ember Labs, yeah, and apparently Deviation Games is gonna probably get purchased as well. So we'll just wait and see. Acquisitions are very hard. Sony would have to entirely buy WB. No, they can't buy WB because they both do the same thing. But they could buy WB Games. That's a separate get. WB Games is separate from WB. SOCOM. Let me see here. What is wrong with my TV? It's acting like a zuckus. Oh, he got picked off. Okay. All right. So there we go. WB doesn't own all the IP they make. Well, Warner Brothers owns like the Batman stuff, but Sony could buy the Batman and Harry Potter stuff. The games, because they're making new Harry Potter movies in that universe. So, it would be something like that. but it would be a big ass. So, said curious people who might get Halo, but you generally believe that people will have very little interest. Well, we had a poll up and it was close. I think the final was 55 to 45. So, the 4 games I would buy if that did happen would be Quantum Break. That's made by Remedy. I'm looking more at it as the games that they have that are second and third party. So Ori and the Blind Forest and Will o' the Wisp, Quantum Break. That right there is 3 games already. And, Gears of War was not made by them. Gears 1, 2, and 3 was made by Epic. So that would be the 4th game, or that would be a total right there of that's 6 games right. Well, no, hold on. How many games is that? 5 or 6 games right there. And then, if Flight Sim came, that's 7. And I definitely would get a VR for that. This stuff like that, that's what you have to kind of look at it, is that those games are just sitting there, not making no money. And they can make more money if they put them on PlayStation and or Nintendo. It is what it is. Sony PlayStation Online, PS1 games, EverQuest. I haven't played that game. So you don't want any more consolidation. I agree, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So you want Gears to come to PlayStation. I think Gears 1, 2, and 3, again, it's a rumor. But yeah, I look at the games that were made by other studios, and then Microsoft just got their hands on those studios. Quantum Break is made by Remedy. That's what I was saying. Sunset Overdrive was made by Insomniac. That's what all I'm saying is I think it would be something like that. It's like, Remedy they would have to give the rights back to Remedy. Remedy would then have to find a second party publisher to publish the game on PlayStation. That's the way that would work. And of course, Microsoft would get, because they're selling the rights back, Microsoft will get that money, and they want to include Microsoft on a split, give them 10%. That's fine. It would be a bad purchase. They are a money pit. Sony would have to pay for the licensing. Well, yeah, I would just take the Batman and the Harry. To me, the 3 I would try to get Harry Potter, or the 2, Harry Potter and Mortal Kombat. I would try to get those 2. I would leave the Batman stuff alone. They already own Sunset Overdrive and said no to it. I think they own it, but yeah, they can't. I don't think they can put a game there. I don't think they can put a game there. So, but I think but can they do that? The answer is yes. Yeah, the answer is yes. So, but we'll have to wait and see, because like I said, I was saying this to J-Dub, but I said I think maybe Microsoft addresses this tomorrow. Because it is a rumor. It is a rumor, to be honest with you. So Sony will definitely help publish them. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree. Corey Massey always makes legit points. That's why I love having him here. So, but to say that people wouldn't buy them, you got to speak for yourself on that one. That's you're pulling a Marlin Gaming Nation right there. You may not buy them, and I think that's perfectly fine as a consumer. You don't want to buy them, but I would buy. Like I said, I would buy the Flight Sim game. I would buy Gears 1, 2, and 3. That's 4 games right there. See what I'm saying? So that's just me playing those 4 games. So, and more people will play those games too. So, alrighty. So a few more minutes here on the Q&A on the Ask Me Anything. So, and doing another UFO show. Is it time to do one? So that next UFO show will be is it the 17th? Yeah, I think, the 17th, another UFO show. So that is the 17th. So write that down on your calendar. Yeah, write it on your calendar, people. Imagine Flight Sim with PS5 features. Well, it would just be a straight port, but they would have VR. You see what I'm saying? They would have VR. It would still be 30 frames per second, which is an abortion. because it would just be a direct port. It'd just be, I mean, who knows? Maybe they could get it to 1080p 60, but it would just be a straight port, 4K, 30 frames per second. That game has microtransactions. What was that? That game has microtransactions, so it is what it is. It is what it is. So, and you just go from there. You're looking at consumer behavior around Microsoft games. That's fair, but if they offer it to the Nintendo people and the PlayStation people, they are going to sell more games. They will sell more games. They just will. They will. The Blizzard King, Uncle D. Yeah, he's going to start podcasting again here. I want to say the next week or two. But like I said, I mean, to say that nobody would buy them that's not accurate. It's because people were already saying online, and some people were saying here they would buy Quantum Break. And again, I'm looking at the games that are third party published that Microsoft has. It's like, well, Quantum Break is how many years old? So why not allow Remedy to put that game on PlayStation? You see what I'm saying? Sunset Overdrive, that's an old game that came out in 2014, 15, something like that. So that's an older game. So yeah, Kevin is the GOAT. Kevin Samuels is the GOAT. So rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Another Dead Nation game. Okay. I think a Def Jam New York would be pretty cool. They could do a Def Jam versus Death Row type of game. So, well, yeah, I'm off work, but CES comes on opposite the football game, so I may have CES going in the football game on the radio. So, Quantum Break will complete your Remedy collection on PlayStation. Yeah, again, and Microsoft owns that game, but Remedy made the game. So again, Microsoft would have to, the rights would have to revert back to Remedy, then Remedy would have to find somebody to publish it unless they directly published it to PlayStation, and they would sell it. It wouldn't be, oh, well, this game's going to go day and date into the server. Now, it could, you know what I'm saying? Sony can say, okay, we'll do day and date with this game, you know. I'm just saying the game is old. One Trick Pony. Chocolate Thunder wants the pretty men in his bunk to be, oh yeah, he does. He wants those buttery men to be 60 frames. So yeah, but if Flight Sim came, it would still be 30. They're not going to change anything like that. Well, I mean, in theory, I guess they could if Asobo published it. If they published it. So, no, I'm just saying, it is what it is. So, yeah, I agree. He got double life, and 60, 30 times 2 is 60 for double life. Yeah. But yeah, Kevin Samuels was trying to warn him, didn't he? It needs to use the dual sense again. This will be a reason why. This will be a reason why if you don't have a flight stick, a HOTAS, that's why you would get one. Sony would sell more of them. Games, the games I'm mentioning are saturated on Xbox already. Is that why you name them? Well, I'm naming them because they're third-party games that Microsoft has a deal with. I mean, again, these guys act like Microsoft doesn't do third-party deals. You see what I'm saying? That's the truth. I mean, these guys act like that doesn't happen. Yeah, they act like that doesn't happen. And Quantum Break is a Remedy game. Microsoft paid for Remedy to make that game. Okay, they made it. Now it's just sitting there, not making no money for nobody. You could put that game on PlayStation. That was interference. They should have called that. So, Sunset Overdrive, let Insomniac Games make a Sunset, let them port that over, and then Sony can meet them halfway and say, okay, if we do he got picked off. Oh my gosh. They both have thrown interceptions. So, well, not unless they're going to rule that incomplete. But wow. But those games, Pentiment, these games that that Microsoft owns, you know, the Microsoft may have some things with, but they didn't publish the game, or they published the game, but somebody else made them. That's what I'm trying to say. Remedy made Quantum Break. Microsoft published it. So, pick 6. Is that a pick? I can't see. Yeah, they intercepted him. They over there cheesing. Blue Point made Demon Souls. Yeah, they did. Blue Point's a first-party studio. That's why Demon Souls is first party. But I'm saying Sony could say meet them halfway and say, okay, if we do a Sunset Overdrive 2, we will port that over to Xbox. They could do something like that. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying that. I think both groups are going to be doing a little more stuff than that. But again, Sony will sell their games over there. They say, yeah, you can have Sunset Overdrive 2 as well, but you're going to pay for it. You dig? You see what I'm saying? So, so Blue Point made Blast Fact. Oh, did they? I didn't know they did that one. So, PlayStation All-Stars. Okay. They already own Sunset Overdrive. Sony already told Insomniac not to make Sunset Overdrive for PlayStation. Well, okay, that's fine. Maybe that'll change, though. You just don't know. You're getting a new president of SIE. He could come in here and say, yeah, if you all want to remake that and put PS5 features on it and do a Sunset Overdrive remaster, there you go. So, I mean, I'm not saying that they will do that. I'm just saying that it is possible. It's possible for them to do that. So, yeah, Microsoft owns publishing while Insomniac owns the IP. Therefore, Sony owns the IP. But Microsoft, I believe that they would have to relinquish publishing rights so that Sony could publish the game. That's, to their platform. Throw it in PS Plus. Oh, okay. I'm just saying that's. I'm not saying not to do that. I'm just saying that I'm not even trying to play devil's advocate here, but I don't know why they wouldn't take third-party stuff and go from there. But that's just my opinion. Yeah, 2 + 2 is 5. That's my math. You would have to have another studio. You would have to have a studio who can make the port. But they do have that. That's what I'm saying. Insomniac can just put the game out and publish it themselves with Sony. Sony will do that for them. Insomniac would then turn around and make the game and call it a remaster or remake, whatever you want to call it. That's all. That's all it is. Hero Downer says Gears, Quantum Break, and I don't know what Tell Me Lies. That's a Fleetwood Mac song. Sweet Little Lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Like Phil Spencer doing. Microsoft needs to sell these games. Well, I mean, again, that's the rumor. I mean, now we're just kind of in the wilderness with a rumor. It's not a real person. It's just a rumor. And there's a very good chance that Microsoft addresses this tomorrow with some type of statement. And that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting them to say, we're not doing this. All right. That's for me. So there's no way you can release 30 FPS games in VR. It would have to be 60 FPS for VR. Well, again, okay, that's fine, but it's why not? Why can't they release 30 FPS? Wouldn't that be something else though? If they did put Flight Sim on PlayStation and it would be 60 FPS, I'd be on the floor laughing. Like on the floor laughing. Shout out to Paul Game. He's a member. Says Microsoft needs to put games everywhere to justify the $80 billion they just spent. Well, they definitely need to try to recoup as much as they can. So I don't disagree with that overall. So he ran into his own man. Ooh, good hit. He ran into his own man. So Insomniac would have to stop working on Wolverine and Spider-Man and X-Men to make a Sunset Overdrive remake. Well, I'm not saying they have to do it now. I mean, don't get me wrong, but Insomniac is a huge studio. That's a huge studio. So But could they start working on it? Yeah, they could. They made Shadow Colossus and Gravity Rush. Cool. What are the chances of Apple getting game pads? Oh, Apple was at CES, so we're going to find out some stuff this week. They there. Oh, Game Pass. I think it's always a possibility because Apple's stuff runs on Windows, right? Right? You got to remember that Safari runs on Windows. You don't have to use Google search. You can use Safari. You don't have to use Bing. You can use Safari. Apple i products, you can plug right into a Windows device and it works fine. That's the truth, right? Man, he was wide the F open. Oh, there's a do not game like Life is Strange series exclusive to yeah. Well, but you see what you're doing here now. That's kind of what I'm thinking is they would have to take games that are made by other people and then Microsoft saying, yeah, publish this to, it's okay for Sony to get these games and put it on their platform. Or that Tell Me Lies game, that would be good on the Nintendo Switch. So you also use Linux. Yeah. Yeah, I understood. So, yeah, I don't think, remember, Gears 1, 2, and 3, that was made by Epic. So, they could relinquish that and say, okay, these games were made by Epic, but Gears, I don't know about Gears Judgment. I don't know about that one. But they can do Gears, but, leave, 4 and 5 and 6. No, you're not going to get that. But 1, 2, and 3, yeah. I mean, but we're going to sell it for $39.99. They can sell all 3 games. They said one. They just sell the whole pack. Can't buy just one. You got to buy the whole kit and caboodle for $39.99. People will buy that. To say that people wouldn't is not fair. Blueprint did not make the Nathan Drake collection. So if Apple get Game Pass, there's a chance for it. Yeah. Apple stuff already works on it already works on Microsoft stuff now. So that's why I always say never say never. Never say never. That's all I'm really, Your son really liked 4 and 5. I liked 4 and 5. I mean, I did that benchmark. That's the first game I benchmarked on my PC, and that game looked fantastic. I was playing at 1440p. Epic not pulling people from Fortnite to make Gears collection. They don't have to. They could just release all 3 and then say it's a bundle or something like that. That's what I'm saying. This isn't hard, and it's all rumors. But the games I'm naming are published by Microsoft, but somebody else owns the game, and that to me is a good middle ground. I don't know about Hi-Fi Rush, so, but you're hearing that's the game that would be coming, or it would be going to Nintendo. Throw that one away. But yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, like I said, I think Gears 4 and 5 are good games. You can't find a pattern to the games. It's their third party. Insomniac made Sunset Overdrive. They could release that game on PlayStation. I'm just saying, Remedy made Quantum Break. The Tell Me Lies game is made by another third-party studio, but it's exclusive to PlayStation. Nothing wrong with that game coming over to... It's exclusive to Xbox. There's nothing wrong with that game coming over to PlayStation. So, it is what it is. So, it is what it is. Got to believe until we see it or address. Well, I mean, that's fair enough. I tend not to. I'm only really talking about it because everybody's been talking about it today. But I'm not a big rumor guy. So yeah, but I to me, and I'm assuming Microsoft is going to make a statement on this tomorrow. Like I'll wake up tomorrow before I go to the store, and Phil Spencer would have already put something out, whether it be Phil Spencer or Satya Nadella or whoever the CFO is. Something will come out. Sarah, what's her name? Sarah Bond. Yeah. Sarah Bond. I mean, I think they will make statements. Somebody got to make a statement on addressing this stuff. So you use Game Pass 1 month trial on your Samsung TV just for Quantum Break, only to find out it's not available via cloud. I played that game for a while. I enjoyed it, but I like science fiction. But I should go back and play it some more. Microsoft should give clarity. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think that's coming because we're just going to keep, people are going to be out there savaging the Xbox community. I mean, Tim Dog's taking it on the chin. I mean, it's like they went into that cell and it was like, lights out. And then somebody said, yeah, you sure are a pretty green man. I mean, that's what it seems like to me because Tim Dog is upset about it. Jez Gordon's upset about it. All these Xbox podcasts that were happening, like, oh, blah, 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 they were just getting upset with each other. So just craziness. So D-Batch always losing to, yeah, I don't know what he has said about it, if anything. What makes me choose those games? Like I said, they're third-party games. They would have to sell Quantum. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. They would have to sell the rights back to Quantum Break rights back. So, but Microsoft paid over $200 million for Quantum Break in the air. Yeah, okay. I didn't know that, but that's what they would have to do that. Or maybe not. Maybe there's a workaround. Maybe there is a workaround where it's kind of like, okay, you all get, Sony will get this percentage, Remedy will get this percentage, and then we'll get this. I mean, there's when there's money involved, there's always a way. There's always a way. So, no. It's like Sean Parker owns 2% of Facebook and he's a billionaire or something like he owns 2% or 5% or 8% or it's something like that. There you go. Microsoft didn't see through the whole development. Correct. They have publishing rights. Publishing. That's all they have. When Stella Blade comes out, Sony has publishing rights. They don't own the studio. But they're giving the studio money, allegedly. The studio is getting money from Sony to complete the game. And then Sony's like, we'll give you this money to complete the game. However, we want publishing rights to this game. And so they become a second party studio. Now, that means they can go ahead and have the game be made. Oh, he overthrew him. They can have, oh man, that's tough. Probably wish he has that back. But that's all. It's a second party game like Ember Labs, Kana Bridge of Spirits. There you go. So it's the same thing. Xbox got till 2020 to make something shake. Well, I mean, look, I think Hellblade can be a good game. I think it will be. Stalker, and Stalker 2. Microsoft does not own the public. Microsoft may have some publishing things with it, but that game is not made by a Microsoft first-party studio. Now, that doesn't mean that they won't eventually try to get to that. It doesn't mean that. So, best options to sell games on PlayStation is to look at unreleased titles. Well, I mean, first things first, it's a rumor, but I disagree. I think you look at titles that people have, know about. I mean, they're quality games. Quantum Break is a quality game. It's not the best game, but if you like Control, then you'll like Quantum Break. It's the same mechanics. The gunplay is even better on Quantum Break because you have the time. You can shift time. You have singularity. So that's always cool. But, I mean, it's fine. We can agree to disagree. I say go with stuff that people know. And some people say would go with stuff that they don't know about. Why? But again, that's fine too. I don't know why people would do that. So people didn't learn from Starfield. Don't put too much pressure on one game. Well, yeah, I never said that. I said I think it will be a good game because the first one was a good game. The first one was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't spectacular, but it was a good game. It was a good game. So, oh, he dropped it. So, but yeah, I agree. People, yeah, they've already moved off of Starfield. Now it's Hellblade. Well, no, Hellblade is going to have this. Hellblade's going to have that. Okay, well, we'll see. I certainly hope that they're right. I hope they're correct. All right. Well, it's almost 9 o'clock. So, any other questions? It's been almost an hour and a half. You live in a Metacritic era where Metacritic directly collated Well, okay, but didn't Quantum Break get decent scores on Metacritic? Didn't the first three Gears games get pretty good scores? I mean, that's the truth, right? I'm just saying that you're talking about games that are old, that are just sitting there, that Microsoft may have some publishing rights to, that ultimately you would have to. What's up, Phil? Ultimately, they would say, okay, these games are just sitting here. Nobody's making no money off of it. If we put these on other platforms, whether it be a Nintendo platform, which I think, didn't Cuphead. I mean, a game like Cuphead. Remember Cuphead? Microsoft bought into that, helped publish the game. A couple years later, the game came to PlayStation. He threw another interception in the end zone. Wow. Quantum Break got a low 70 score. Okay. But how old is Quantum Break? When did Quantum Break come out? Alexa, when did the video game Quantum Break come out? Let's see if Alexa knows.
Quantum Break was released on April 5th, 2016.
Okay.
PC and Xbox One.
All right, so that game is 8 years old. It's just sitting there. Now, Control is on. You got Control and Alan Wake on that platform. So you have Control and Alan Wake on that platform. So, and you don't have you don't have Alan Wake. You even have the AWE DLC, I believe. I think it's called AWE. So that's Alan Wake expansion. So, but yeah. Shout out to Phil Bosch. Phil, hit that like button if you don't mind. All right, guys, I'm gonna bounce. I bought some turkey, and well, not turkey. I bought some chicken and dumpling soup, and I'm gonna eat some chicken and dumpling soup. And I'm watching this game. It's pretty good. So Miami and Buffalo. Man, you gotta throw that ball away, man. All right. But all right then. You all make sure you hit the like button. And like I said, Sydney Moon, Silk is coming. Insomniac got it going on. So Insomniac got it going on. I believe they're gonna get that going. So all right, that is it, guys. I'm gonna bounce. I will talk to you Tuesday.